Hello, hello. I'm Andrew Nussbaum for INTE 5680, and welcome back to Music Unboxed, where we tell unknown stories about at least partially known songs. Today we're talking about a protest song, a dangerous song, a song of solidarity and outrage. It was written by a white Jewish school teacher and became a famous element of Billie Holiday's set for decades. In 1999, Time magazine named it the Song of the Century. Today's unboxing story is Strange Fruit.
Southern trees bear strange fruit.
The story was tragically familiar, even for 1930. Three young black men, Tom Shipp, Abe Smith, and James Cameron, were falsely accused of raping a white woman, a charge she later recanted. A white crowd, estimated at between 10 and 15,000, abducted the three boys from their jail cell and lynched two of them in front of the courthouse. A town reporter captured the scene in one of the most iconic lynching photos in American history. A photo I won't be showing here, so feel free to look it up on your own. Jump to 1937. Abel Meeropol wrote a poem for a New York City Teachers Union magazine, inspired by the famous photograph of Shipp and Smith. Originally titled Bitter Fruit, the poem was a damning critique of murderous racism, invoking the imagery of rotting black bodies hanging from trees and calling it a strange and bitter crop. From there, the song was set to music and began being performed at union meetings, but there was still a long way to it getting recorded in 1939. First, Billie Holiday didn't want to sing it, both due to its triggering content and political connotations. But Barney Josephson, owner of the Cafe Society where Holiday was a regular performer, convinced her to attempt it, and it soon became a staple of her act, her closer, with all the lights off except a single spotlight on her face, suddenly turning to black after the last note. After Holiday was on board, her producer and label at Columbia thought it was too political and passed on recording it. She had to go to a fledgling label, Commodore. Columbia let her use a one-session release from her contract to allow her to record it. It would turn out to be her top-selling record of all time, selling over 1 million copies. Strange Fruit has remained popular ever since it was recorded. It's been covered or remixed over 60 times, from classic African-American performers like Lou Rawls, Nina Simone, and Diana Ross, to more experimental versions from UB40 and Tori Amos, to being remixed by Dwayne Wiggins, to being sent to haunting vocals by Dominique Fils-Aimé and Andra Day. Considering it almost didn't get made at all, that's pretty impressive. But there is an odd irony in the song, and it's one that unfortunately is all too easy for white people critiquing racism to fall into. Shipp, Smith, and Cameron didn't live in the gallant South. The picture was from Marion, Indiana, only 10 years after the Ku Klux Klan saw a surge in popularity nationwide, particularly among white politicians, including in Indiana. So to be clear, racism has never been just a Southern problem or even just an American problem. And part of me wishes that Meeropol or any of the dozens of artists who have covered or engaged with the song had updated it to reflect that reality. But at the same time, it also makes me appreciate that the phrase strange fruit has become adopted by so many activists for so many causes. From novelists to historians to playwrights to children's book authors to a South African cartoonist who in 2014 directly replicated the imagery of the original photograph to condemn anti-LGBT laws in Uganda. While the original lyrics focus on the South, the truth is that all our trees can bear strange and bitter fruit. And perhaps part of the song's enduring popularity is the realization that the problems and struggles it depicts remain as relevant as ever.
Southern trees bear strange fruit.
Hey, Andrew here. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please help us out by giving us a like, hit the subscribe button, do all the things the algorithm says you need to do so we can keep making more things.